Hey guys, Guinea Pigs 1 here. Today I'm going to do a video for you all about unsafe or unhealthy guinea pig treats. Now I feel like I need a disclaimer. So if you know me, you know that I just like to make videos to help educate everybody. I do a lot of research and have had a lot of trial and error myself. So I like to take any knowledge that I take in and share it back with you guys. I don't like to make videos to shame people or point fingers. I know this video is going to step on a few people's toes because I'm sure there's going to be treats you feed that are in my list of treats not to feed. So I just hope everybody can have an open mind and take in what I tell you and then use it to decide for yourself what you want to do. I just don't want anybody to get defensive or upset with me. I'm simply giving you what I've learned and giving you a list of ingredients that you need to look out for, some treats that shouldn't be purchased. I think the best piggy parents are not perfect, but we are the type that are willing to learn, change, and grow, who have our guinea pig's best interest always on mind. So with that being said, I'm just going to start with my list here of ingredients that you need to look out for because they are unsafe or are hazards to your pigs. Alright, so first on the list are seeds. There's a lot of treats being marketed for guinea pigs that have seeds in them, when in fact seeds are not in a guinea pig's natural diet. Seeds are high in fats, which a guinea pig's digestive tract cannot properly break down, and seeds can also be a choking hazard. Now the next would be nuts. It's kind of along the same line. Guinea pigs do not eat nuts naturally. They're very high in fat and they can upset their digestive system, and again they can be choking hazards. The next would be milk ingredients, eggs, or yogurt ingredients. Guinea pigs are actually lactose intolerant, meaning they can't digest milk properly. So that's like humans that are lactose intolerant. It really upsets your stomach, your digestion. You can get diarrhea, things like that. Same for a guinea pig. You're really risking messing up their gut. The next would be alfalfa. You see this in a lot of treats. Alfalfa is okay for guinea pigs 6 months and under, but guinea pigs 6 months and older, you really need to watch the calcium intake. Alfalfa is very high in calcium. Now, high in calcium can lead to things like bladder stones, which are extremely serious. The next thing you see in so many treats is sugar. Sugar being added, sucrose, corn syrup, stuff like that. Very bad for guinea pigs. It's just like for us humans, too much sugar is never a good thing. And just sugar being added to everything can really hurt them. The next would be corn. A lot of ingredients, there's corn. Now corn isn't the worst on this list, but corn has zero nutritional value for guinea pigs. It's like feeding fresh corn. It has no benefit to them whatsoever. Now the next would be salt and sodium. A lot of treats have added salt, added sodium. It's like for us, salt and sodium just lead to health issues, so those are not good things to have added. Now, the worst guinea pig treats are when you're reading those ingredients and they've got a whole pile of those ones that I just listed, or those ingredients are near the top. Things at the top of the ingredients list are the highest concentration. So if sugar was the first ingredient, that means there's the most sugar in those treats. And then the next thing is the next highest. Alright, so now I'm going to go through some common treats that people feed that are actually something you should probably avoid. Now, I am not perfect because I have fed 2 treats on this list before, but the thing is I learned why not to feed them, and I don't feed them at all anymore. I personally don't feed any pet store or purchased treats. The treats for the guinea pigs are fruits, vegetables, fresh grass. I'm not saying you can't feed any treats, just make an educated decision. Okay, now the number 1 would be yogurt drops. A lot of brands have these. Now yogurt drops obviously have milk ingredients in them, and we already talked about guinea pigs are lactose intolerant. So you're risking the chance of upsetting their natural gut flora and their movement. They could get things like diarrhea. And also in yogurt drops, there are sugars. Sugar is actually the first ingredient, so that is really bad. And it says powdered milk and yogurt powder, so there you go for the lactose intolerant. Yogurt drops are not something you should ever feed them. Even if you say like, oh, I've been feeding them for years and nothing's happened, I wouldn't risk it. Just because nothing happened, that doesn't mean anything can't happen. Does that make sense? So anyway, the next would be treat sticks. Now, I was guilty of treat sticks. When I very first got Barnaby and Ernie, I had given them a couple until people told me, whoa, you shouldn't be feeding those. So treat sticks, in them is wheat, corn, millet, oats, flour, peanuts, and honey. Terrible, terrible ingredients. There's choking hazards, there's things they're not even supposed to be eating, and there's sugars. So treat sticks are a huge no. And a lot of people say, well, they deserve to have a treat every once in a while. Guinea pigs only eat what you give them. They do not know what they're missing out on. They get so excited for vegetables or fresh grass that they don't need a treat. I think treat to us means like us going out to get ice cream or chocolate, something unhealthy, but a treat for a guinea pig does not mean that you need to feed them something unhealthy in order for them to enjoy it. So I think we need to get away from thinking treats are unhealthy and oh, they deserve one every once in a while. They deserve a healthy treat. All right. Now the next thing is from Vitacraft. Personally, it was Nibble Rings. They're the little circles. They look like, I think they're about green and look like Cheerios kind of thing. In those is corn, wheat, alfalfa, and added calcium. So not only is there calcium added, but there's also the calcium from the alfalfa. And it said it's 0.9% calcium. So low calcium diets, you want 0.4% or less. So these are high in calcium, not appropriate for pigs that are over 6 months. Now the next is from Martin Mills. It's their muffins. Now I know there's a couple people who feed these, so don't get upset. In there, there's wheat, oats, soybeans, rice. Those are all things that guinea pigs do not normally eat. There's molasses, which is just going to be sugars. There's oils, which is high in fat. There's salt, which is unhealthy, and there's added calcium. So really all those ingredients, I couldn't find one that was beneficial. There wasn't anything like Timothy grass or something like that. So really I think they're kind of full of junk. All right, the next was what I was guilty of also feeding. These are Oxbow Veggie treats. I used to feed these every once in a while to the boys until I learned the wonders of calcium. So in them there's flour, there's alfalfa, there's oats, there's molasses, there's oil, there's garlic powder, and there's yeast. So there's alfalfa, which is high in calcium. I wish I had never fed these. And there's molasses and oils, so you got your sugars, you got your high fats, and garlic powder to me is really weird to be in there. So I do not feed those, obviously, at all. I haven't fed them for years, because once Rugby got his bladder stone, that's when I really educated myself about calcium. And now, as I was doing my research, I found a brand, All Living Things. I have some of their toys and their little kebabs, but oh my goodness, their treats are ridiculous. So first we got candy covered sunflower seeds. Now these have pictures of guinea pigs and rabbits on them. So first they're seeds, which they do not eat, and then it was sugar, corn syrup, and dyes. So there's sugar and corn syrup. There's two different types of sugars in there, and dyes. Like, dyes are unnatural. So those were just absolutely terrible. The next thing was corn puff treats. Corn, calcium, dyes, artificial flavors. Like, what is good about that? Nothing. And calcium was very high up on the list of ingredients. Next, they had frosted donuts. Like, I can't believe you're marketing donuts for guinea pigs. There was wheat, oatmeal, sugar, eggs, peanut butter, salt, sodium, dyes, and preservatives. Like, that is just a list of so much junk. Peanut butter is in there for guinea pigs. Preservatives, eggs, like terrible. The next was fruit and nut meal toppings. Like, what are you putting meal toppings on? There was sugars, dates, raisins, and peanuts. Sugars, dates, and raisins. Well, dates and raisins all have lots of sugars. And peanuts, like, that's not a topping for a guinea pig. And next there was cookies. So to go along with the donuts, we have cookies. Wheat, sugar, oil, eggs, corn, peanut butter, and colors. Like, again, just a list of absolutely nothing beneficial to your guinea pig. So that is my list of treats that I just was going over. Like, those all living things treats, like, actually blew my mind that that can be marketed for guinea pigs. Now, that's the sad thing is, just because it's in a pet store does not mean it's safe or healthy for your pig. We all know that because there's small pet store cages that are sold for pigs that aren't the right size. We know that they sell cedar or pine bedding, which is unsafe for the respiratory system. I think the biggest offenders, though, are the treats and the pellet section. Lots of those are sold, and people don't know why they are unsafe. So if you take anything from this video, just please reevaluate what you're feeding as treats and look at the ingredients that aren't safe. And I personally, like I said, I just don't feed treats at all because it's just not worth it. We're responsible for what they put in their mouth, and I don't want to risk anything. I want them to be as healthy and happy as they can be. So I just hope I haven't offended anyone. Like I said before, I'm simply sharing my knowledge with you and what I've learned. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment below, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.